She's
Yeah,
actually
like I always like to try new things and like stuff like that, but I'm not like I don't like to be the center of attention. Like I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
what? I didn't know that existed, that there were people on this earth who did not want attention. I'm the first to say I love attention.
Really?
Oh my God. How are you guys sitting there saying you don't love attention? Are you kidding me? You don't. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Juice and Jury podcast, episode 2. Thank you for tuning in once again, or for the first time, welcome. My name is Maureen, and I am here with these two lovely ladies. They're going to introduce themselves.
Hi, it's Christiana.
And Shanika.
And we are here to give you the juice on all the cool and interesting things that are going on in media, in womanhood, all the current events, celebrity gossip, all that lovely juicy stuff. And we are going to give you our verdict on these topics. So listen up. First thing that I wanted to bring up with you ladies, I just came across this. There is a teacher who got fired for filming raunchy TikTok dances in her classroom. So I was looking at this report. This is from the New York Post. And there is this teacher. And when I looked at this teacher doesn't look like a teacher. She looks like a student. Like she looks very young, curvaceous, Brazilian, right? So very pretty. And she's just doing TikTok dances. But you know, some of the TikTok dances have some like booty shaking and stuff like that. And she's up at the front of the class doing this with her.
So when she's shaking her booty, she's like really shaking it.
Yeah, and like her students are like teenagers. So yeah, I get why she got fired. First I was like, oh, it's just, and then I was like, oh no.
I mean, it's a different thing if she's in her class by herself.
Pardon me?
I was saying it would be a different thing if she was like in her class by herself.
Yeah, no, she's not in the class by herself. She's with the kids. But she's wearing like kind of some of the things, some videos, she's wearing a little bit of like scantily clad clothing. Not all of them. And she also is on OnlyFans. So that should tell you this is a curvaceous, beautiful woman. And just, yeah, it's a little bit inappropriate to be doing that in your classroom.
See, like if my child's teacher was on OnlyFans, I wouldn't care. But if she's doing dances with my kids in class, then I would be like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What your teacher does on her own.
Yeah, like whatever you do outside of teaching, like who cares? But
was she doing it with the kids, or was she just like filming herself at the front of the class?
With the
kids.
With the kids. With other girls.
Yeah, I think, obviously I do think that it was inappropriate. Especially if there was some kind of like hip shaking or any kind of sexual, like sexual nature, you know what I mean? Like it's like I think that was kind of crossing the line, and it was not professional. So yeah, I don't know about firing her, but I think that she needed to have some kind of discipline, because maybe she just wasn't aware, or maybe she just doesn't get it. Like these things cannot happen in the classroom as the. Are you showing us the video? Let's see the video.
No, not the video. Should I show you the photo? That one in the middle is the teacher.
But no, it's not.
Yeah, that's the teacher.
Was this in the States?
Pardon me?
She's wearing a miniskirt?
Yeah, that's one of the clips. Hold on, let me find. I'm trying to find the video now. I don't know.
Was that in the States?
That is in. Hold on.
Because whatever she was wearing was too short.
I was just gonna say, my next thing is that I don't know, are schools different now? Do they not have dress codes anymore? Like where you could not wear stuff like that when I was in school. Like
just because I work with the young population, I will tell you that there is a dress code that that they should follow, but they still wear whatever they want. So you'll usually see like the midsection pretty often. They wear spaghetti straps, which when I was in high school, no one ever dressed like that, but there's a lot more skin these days. So that is probably acceptable in the school, but for the teacher to be wearing that, that's I don't know where that is. Like, was that in Brazil or was that in the States?
Okay, so this is some sort of language school, but I don't know where it is. I'm trying to figure out where, and they don't say. They just say the teacher is Brazilian. She's teaching English somewhere. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where is her.
Because in Brazil, that might have been okay, but like
no, this is not in Brazil, but this looks like it might be in like, I don't know. It doesn't say exactly where it is, but it might be in like a Latin American country.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Different countries have their customs, right? So they might look at like those type of dances or that way of dressing as not offensive, but other people might, whereas in Canada it might be totally different.
She got fired, so they found it.
It was not acceptable.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like if she got fired, there might have been like prior, like there would have been prior. Like you can't just fire someone like that. Like there must have been like prior issues.
Yeah,
like you can't tell me she just did that once and then was fired.
I don't know. Hold on. Here's I'm trying to find it from the beginning of the video. Hold on. Okay. So that's a teacher. Okay, nothing too bad.
Well, she's wearing pants. So she must have done on 2 separate locations. Oh. Wow. Moves, though.
In that moment, she's wearing pants, which is good, right?
So she took off the pants, or was that a different day?
No, I don't think she took off the pants.
At this point.
But I'm just saying, like, we saw the other clip where she's wearing a very, 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 very short skirt, which is like crotch short.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I try not to judge too much, but I think that there's a time and place for things, and schools have to have some sort of decorum. Like you can't come to a school dressed like you're going to a nightclub. Like, to me, I think that's inappropriate.
Especially not for the teachers, right? You're setting an example for the kids, right?
And if these are minors, that's disgusting. I don't know how old these kids are. I don't know if this is like 16-year-olds or if they're 19-year-olds. I don't know, but there's something about the teacher dynamic with the students, and doing that just doesn't sit well with me. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, like I said, I don't know if she should have lost her job, but it was definitely inappropriate.
Right.
So we have to figure out where that was. So we got to.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a Latin American country, but I can't tell for sure. It's not clear.
Have you guys heard, and this is kind of new, I actually found this today on TikTok and Instagram, but there was an astrology wedding, and I feel like it was like in Italy or something like that, or somewhere in Europe. So this couple had an astrology wedding. So it was a regular ceremony, but when it came to the reception, the way that they divided people, or where their seating was based on their astrology
sign.
Yeah, so the signs. So depending on if they're like a water sign or a fire sign, that's like, if you're on TikTok, like that was the only. Maureen, you froze and your eyes were closed. I was like, girl, you're sleeping. Sorry. But anyways, so I went on TikTok, but they only showed the 2 rooms. So there was like the water sign room and then the fire sign room. And the water sign room, like everyone was like really quiet and cute and like, like really respectful. Meanwhile, in the fire sign room, people were like singing, they were out of their chairs, like acting wild. The whole party ended up being in the fire sign room. Yeah, that's what attracted everyone. So I thought that was really interesting.
What are you?
I am a water sign, Scorpio. I'm a water sign, so I feel like I would be in that like boring room. That would be me.
Yeah, I'm a water sign. I'm a Scorpio too.
Oh, you're Scorpio? When's your birthday? Sorry.
The 3rd of November.
Okay, I'm the 7th.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by Scorpios.
Really?
Oh, 100%. My husband's a Scorpio, and a lot of my cousins, relatives are all Scorpios.
A lot of November birthdays.
But I'm the life of the party, apparently, because I'm a fire sign.
Yeah, you're Sagittarius, right? Sag?
Yes.
I can see that. Shanika, you and I would be sitting in like the water side room, like, hey,
yeah,
cutting up on food, like,
we like look over, we're like, what's happening over there? We're just like,
jamming,
on the dance floor.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. So the party ended up happening in the fire sign room, which makes sense. And they made
Yeah.
it the water sign room was like blue and whatever. It kind of looked like the ocean, whereas like fire sign was like
Right.
red. It was
What
beautiful.
about Earth?
So what was interesting, I want to go back on TikTok. They didn't show the other. They didn't show earth and air.
All the other
They
elements.
just spoke about like water and fire
Water and
stuff.
fire. Interesting.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Hmm.
Being a water sign, that kind of
Maybe
like,
they just didn't have a DJ in the water sign room and they had one in
yeah,
the
right.
fire.
They were just making it really boring. Why
Yeah.
people
They
like to
just
get
didn't have
down,
any
right?
music going
Right,
on in
Shanika?
that room. So that's why everyone's like, mm.
Are you the life of the party, Shanika?
Oh my gosh. Look at me. Do I look like I'm the life of the party? No,
I feel
I'm
like
not.
Monica's really fun though. She is. She's really fun. She comes to we used to go to dance classes together.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Shauna's somebody like you can call and she'll do fun stuff with you. She's
Yeah.
actually
Like I always like to try new things and like stuff like that, but I'm not like I don't like to be the center of attention. Like I'm not.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that existed, that there were people on this earth who did not want attention. I'm the first to say I love attention.
Really?
Oh my God. How are you guys sitting there saying you don't love attention? Are you kidding me? You don't
No,
love
in some
attention?
circumstances, but like first off, I was actually saying really to the point that you had mentioned that you love to be the center of attention. Like I would never have said that about you.
Oh my
Right?
God, yes. It's something I have to fight because I actually love attention. It's something
Really?
it's like an inner thing that I have to fight all the time.
But you know what I think it is? I think you command attention, like your personality. Like your personality just commands attention. I don't think my personality is like, look at me, look at me.
It's because
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
get embarrassed. So I'm able to put myself, I don't get embarrassed and I don't overthink things. So I can just put myself out there and just be like, woo, I'm crazy. And I'm like, I don't care if
Yeah.
people think I'm crazy. Yeah.
That's the best way to be, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Not always, but yeah.
I like the idea of not being like not overthinking it and kind of just going for it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because
I mean,
it stops a lot of like stops your sparkle. You know what I mean? Like if you start to like think, oh, well, what if, like what? How are they going to think and whatever? Like that's yeah. So don't let anybody dim your light.
But people who overthink also come off as more responsible and more organized. Like for me, I come off as somebody who's kind of like not flaky. I'm not flaky, but like just less responsible or less organized or less like more because I bounce a lot from one thing to another. Yeah.
yeah. I bounce from like one thing to the other. Like my brother would be like, what's it this week? Are we recycling? He's like, what's happening next week? Because like I'm always just like trying something new or doing something different,
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's because life has so many great things to experience.
Yeah.
You just want to experience
But
them.
I wouldn't say that I'm organized. Like at all.
You're not an organized person, Sean. You wouldn't qualify
No.
yourself as that.
Nope.
But you're like you teach though. I feel like teachers have to have some organization skills.
But I don't know.
Because how do you know? Don't you have to plan out your lesson for like the month ahead or like the semester?
Well, not if you know it already. Not if you've been doing it for a while. I mean, yeah, you should be, but like you kind of already know. But the thing is like when you have different types of students, you got to cater your like there's no cookie cutter like lesson. Because your lessons are going to constantly change because of the type of kids that you have or like the type of behaviors and the type of environment. So I wouldn't necessarily look at a teacher who does lesson plans as like organized and knows what they're doing. I'd almost say like, what are you doing? Like, are these working for you? Are you actually following these plans? I don't know. I'd be concerned.
Because like for example, my son's class, they gave us for May all the like what they're going to be doing every single week.
Online?
You already know.
That's what we do. Yeah, my son's school too.
All the homework that's going to be due. We know when the tests are going to be. We know all of those things already. So I'm like, these people must be really organized.
What grade is your son in? What grade is
3?
I don't know saying kids' names, but yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. Like, no, because like if I'm doing something and I'm like, these kids aren't ready, I'm not going to give a test.
That's nice.
Yeah, like I would make it like a pop quiz, or I'd like turn it into a game, or I just cater to the type of kids that I have in my class.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah,
That's
like
how
I'm
it should
not,
be, Sean, but I don't think that's how it is generally. I don't
yeah,
think most teachers are like you. I really
like
don't. I don't
even
think most.
homework. I remember I was teaching a grade, and like these kids in my class were not like, I know they weren't going to go home and do homework. So like I wasn't assigning homework. And then there was another group that I had, a lot younger, like I'm talking kindergarten, and all the parents wanted homework, and I was like, this is
Yeah, kids, parents usually want homework, I find.
I'm like, this is
No, we
kindergarten.
don't. No, we don't
Let your
want
kid
homework.
play.
I don't want homework. I hate homework. And I was talking to another parent in my son's class, and she's like, we don't do homework at all.
Yeah.
She's like, we don't do any homework.
Yeah, I have
No,
a
but
friend. She doesn't do any of the homework with her
I
kids.
hate
She's like,
homework,
it's
and I don't
just
understand why we need it.
yeah, she has 4 kids, and she's just like, screw it.
No, why do you need to have more work after an 8-hour day of school? Why do you have to come home and do more work? Like, I don't understand that. Like, just keep it at school, please.
Yeah.
I don't want to do more homework when they come home. We do it. It's not too much, thankfully. It's just like one reading comprehension, and then like review some words, and then
Right.
like maybe math, maybe, not usually.
Mhm.
But I don't like having things added on to our plate if we don't need to.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No, it's fine for it. And it's almost like, we call it work-life balance, but there should be a school-life balance, right? If you're taking
Yeah.
all this homework home.
And you know what the thing is like I feel like we really need to step away from this idea that kids need to go home with a paper and pencil and write down their ABCs and stuff like that. Like go out for a walk. Try to pronounce the words on a sign. Like that's learning. Like, and I think parents aren't understanding like this isn't 1920. Okay. We're not sitting down with our chalkboards and like little robots.
Well, some teachers are still treating it like it's 1920.
Yeah.
Some
I don't know.
do. But I agree with you. I think we've had this discussion many times, Shanika, because you and I have a very similar philosophy to education.
Yeah.
And it's more holistic than what a lot of the schools are actually implementing.
Yeah. Even the
Um,
school build, like even the school like environment is not conducive to learning.
Yep.
yeah.
Like even the school hours, like I
What do
like,
you think about the
and this
hours?
is what, no, like I mean, like what kid wants to be in school from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
lot to focus and like get. It's a lot.
like
Like I
people
know
can't
in
even
my
be at work for
no,
five
yeah, it's a
five
lot.
days a week. What do you think a child is doing? Like, and like I know there's some kids in my class, and I'm just looking at them. They're like staring off at the ceiling. They've checked out at 12. Like they're done.
I believe that. I totally believe that. And the funny thing is, like, I have the same philosophy as you, and I see that teachers are really struggling. They're really trying to like come up with ways to like keep kids engaged and active.
Mhm.
So I know, like in my son's class, they take dance breaks,
Yeah.
and they allow the kids to like do their work. Like they don't have to be sitting at a desk. They can sit on the floor. They can walk around. They can move around when
Right.
they're doing their work, which is a good
Yeah.
start. But yeah, I do think that there's still a lot more improvement that needs to be made for
Yeah.
their benefit for different learning styles and actually making learning fun. Because yeah, I think by grade 3, my son, and not only him but a lot of his friends, all hate
Don't want.
school,
Yeah.
and they're in grade
And
3. Yeah.
yeah. And going back to what you were saying about the like doing the dance breaks and stuff like that, like it's the system. Like we're trying to accommodate the system that's not working. When really kids should just be in school from 9 to 12, go home, live your life, go outside, play. There
Yep.
wouldn't be this need to be doing DPA and like dance breaks so that they can like maintain focus for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I wish
saying?
we would also completely rethink the entire curriculum, because
Yeah.
there's so much stuff that we're teaching them that they just don't need. Like
Yeah.
he did a whole lesson on the industrial industries in Ontario Like, who cares?
I
Why
remember
do we need
that.
to know that? Why
Yeah.
do we need to know that? Oh, he's gonna have
Yeah.
a test on it, and I'm like trying to help him study about all these stupid facts about Ontario that never are going to be used. And it's like,
Yeah.
why do we need to know that? Can we focus on the stuff that's actually useful? You
Yeah,
know
but
what I
like this is the thing, going back to like it's this system that we've just been following for all these years, and like it's just
Yeah.
just do it because we've been doing it for so long. But like financial literacy, like that needs to be taught in elementary school.
Haven't they
Like
started
that's
doing it?
something I wish I knew. Like
Yeah.
sexual education, like especially for females, like your hormones, not just about like Fully Alive. I don't know. Did you guys have Fully Alive? It was like a book to teach you about like family dynamics and like your sexuality and stuff like that. But like I'm
think
talking
like
about like
hormones could go into even like nutrition and health because there's
right,
a lot
like
of
yeah, like stuff like that, like stuff that we need information, like we need to know.
yeah.
Like knowing where baby comes is one thing, but like you need to know like the hormones involved or like when you're experiencing this symptom or like I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no.
think basic life skills too, for
Mhm.
example, like I don't know how to change a tire. If the something
Yeah,
happens to my
right.
car, I'm screwed. I
There
like
you
why
go.
don't they teach us that? Or like how to do your taxes, how to
Mhm.
cook a meal, how, you know, basic CPR or basic
Yeah,
like life saving skills.
I'm sure they teach that.
I
They don't teach.
no, they don't teach any of that.
yeah,
And
like CPR is something you have to do on your own time and pay your own money for, unless you're doing like a babysitting course.
yeah. They used to have like home ec classes and stuff like
They
that.
still
I don't
do.
know.
They have like a family.
Mhm.
They have a family studies class, and
That's
so
good.
when
I
I
think
was
that's important.
in high school, we would take home a baby. So now my understanding is in the high schools they take home eggs. Like you have to draw a face on the egg so they know it's the same egg that they had from the beginning. And after they do the egg, then they do they take home the baby, and the baby cries. There's a key that you can feed the baby, change the baby, and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
that's still in place, but I feel like there's a lot more, and I think that they need to be talking about because especially at that age, you never know. People could be considering some girls could be considering abortion. Like there needs to be more like get right into it. Like don't be afraid because this is real life, and they're going to be faced with real life issues. So
Yeah.
really teaching them, really teach them, right? So
Yeah. And
But
even like
yeah,
things like you're talking about, Sean, financial literacy. So opening their mind up to like if you want to start a business, what do you do? How do
yes.
you get a loan? How do you get a
Right.
mortgage? How do you
apparently they have business class in high school.
What is a mortgage? What is amortization? What is like, yeah, like just stuff that you encounter in your real life that you did not learn in school really needs to be like, that's what school needs to be.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely worried about the kids now because of COVID, because of the pandemic. And spoken to you about this before, Maureen. It's like a lot of the kids don't know how to interact with each other because off, they've been away from school for so long, right? And
Mhm.
they've been doing virtual learning, so they don't really know how to connect. And like I said, like the social decorum is not there. Most of the kids are anxious, depressed, there's self-harming, right? So there's a lot of that kind of stuff happening. So I think that we really need to pay attention to what's going on in the schools and what's going on with the kids. And that brings me to our next point. Like May is mental health month, right? So we all, like not just the kids, everyone needs to be taking care of their mental health.
Mhm.
So think of the best way, or what is like, I don't know how you guys, what is your best like self-care methods? Like what do you do? Is there like meditation, yoga? I know Shanika, you're into yoga.
Mhm.
What do you guys do for self-care?
You want do you want to say something, Maureen?
Maureen's like,
I thought Jonica was gonna go on with the yoga, but I'm like, okay.
sorry.
Jonica, this is a
Yeah.
good opportunity to plug your yoga
No.
channel.
Yeah. Yoga with Shanika on YouTube. But yeah. In terms of mental health, I definitely think um I don't know if it's more about a routine, but like if I've established a routine for myself and I'm disciplined with it, that helps a lot with my mental health. But I also think sometimes you can do all the meditating, you can do all the working out, you can do all the walks in nature. Like, yes, all those things are great. But sometimes I think for your mental health, sometimes you just need to remove yourself from the situation or remove yourself from the environment, or, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Maureen.
Yeah, I agree. But it's hard for some people. They can't always remove themselves. Like if
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah, I would agree. But and I think too, having a good like support system, like family or friends that you can talk to about it.
I think for myself, what I've realized a lot recently is being physically active is huge for me personally.
Yeah,
There are moments where I'm really stressed and anxious and feeling like out of control, or just sad. Sometimes, it happens. And when I go and do something physical, the endorphins just, they're like a magic pill. They
take
just
over.
like take everything away.
Yeah.
And at my kickboxing gym, there is a sweatshirt that says gloves on, world off. And that's how I feel when I go. So when I go, like, I shut out everything. Everything is out. I'm just here. I'm having a good time. I'm pushing my body and working it out. And I'm in an environment that's like a positive environment. There's music going. Other people are also, going. We're having fun. And so I think for me, working out is really, really important, and not just working out, but working out in a social setting that's separate from all my other social settings.
Right.
So I don't like, sometimes it has occurred to me, some people, I've seen them bring their kids or whatever and have them just sit there on the side if they don't have anyone to watch them. I could never do that. I don't want I don't want my kids or my I love my husband, but sometimes I think I'm glad that he's not there, because sometimes you just want your own place to kind of like get your
Yeah.
stress and anxiety out. You don't want anything to infiltrate that.
Right.
So I would say physical activity in like a social setting, um, in a social setting that you're comfortable in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, they prefer to do things at home alone. I know some people who are like that. Like I know my cousin, she's like that. She likes to just work out at home alone, and that's fine if that's your thing. But for me, um, I really like having like a community.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think community is huge too.
Yeah, a supportive network, right?
What
Yeah.
about you, T?
As far as self care, to be honest with you, it's kind of like a vice, but I like to watch reality TV. Like that's what I do. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's been my self care, because it's like I'm so wrapped up in these things that are happening on reality TV that I'm like, okay, I don't feel stressed anymore. It's like, and then when your show ends, you're like, wait, what's the next show? It's like, it sounds terrible because you're so like into this other thing, but honestly, I feel like that's been the best thing for me. I know that exercise definitely helps. The other day I took there's like a hiking trail across the street from my house, and I took a hike the other day, and I was by myself, and I'm like, this is great. And it was on my lunch break, and I'm like, I have to go back to work, but it felt
Yeah.
really good, right? And to like, and this sounds kind of strange, but to just like walk on earth, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like instead of, I have a treadmill, but to actually walk on earth, walk on the ground, it felt like I just felt connected. I don't know, there was something really,
Yeah, there's a
really,
term for that. I think it's called grounding.
Yeah. Are you walking barefoot?
no.
Oh.
I forget what I said.
You gotta do it
Like
barefoot. I
walking
love
on
doing it.
earth and walking in nature, like you're breathing in
Yeah.
that fresh air, and it just feels really good. And I think that that was like kind of like the self care that I needed, the mental health break that I
Right.
needed. And
Yeah.
yeah, but other than that, reality TV, walking, those are my things, just to get
Yeah.
my mind right. Or else I'd probably be a complete wreck. So, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody is shows they're crazy a little bit. So
Yeah. So yeah, going for walks for me definitely. Um, yeah, I just feel like put on an Audible or put on Spotify or like a podcast and just go for it. And I'm just like walking down that path by the water, But one thing that I find, like when you're in nature, it's hard not to be in awe. You know what I mean? Like you're just like in awe of it all. Like
Yep,
yeah.
it's true.
Yeah. Also because you're kind of overwhelmed with like their senses, right? Like you're not just seeing it, like it's not
That
just like a
too.
picture. You're in it and you smell it
Mhm.
and you feel the wind and you hear the birds and you can like it's just yeah. So I get what you're saying and the overwhelm of all the detail
Mhm. Yeah.
and all
Speaking
this.
of which, so yesterday I was on my walk. It's totally random, okay? So
Mhm.
I'm walking and I see this huge bird, which I'm assuming is a crow.
Mhm.
And then like it comes down so low and I was like, "Holy shit, that's not a crow. That's a vulture."
Oh my gosh, a
Yeah. And then I
vulture?
looked it up and it was a turkey vulture.
Wait, are you
It was
sure it was
a,
a vulture and not
yeah.
like
Nope,
because
it was
there
a
are
vulture.
hawks. There are hawks around for
Mm,
to
It
control
wasn't
the
a hawk.
no.
It was, yeah, because I saw like red by its neck and I was like, what the hell is that? And then I looked it up. Turkey vultures, they're everywhere.
Yep.
Really?
Sorry,
Yeah.
just so I had one in my backyard, and this was
What?
back a couple years. Yes, it was in my
You had a
backyard.
vulture in your backyard?
It was a turkey. I don't know. So, anyways,
It's a turkey vulture. That's what they're called. I
yeah.
looked it up. Yeah.
So I was shocked. So what was happening? Like my son, he was having breakfast or whatever, and he's like, "Mommy, look." It was a couple years ago. He was like, "Mommy, look," and I'm like, "Use your words. Don't just say, 'Mommy, look.' What do you want me to look at?" That's what I was telling him. He's like, "No,
Hmm.
I don't know." Like he couldn't describe it. He didn't know what it was. He's like, "Look, look." And I looked at him. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's a turkey." It was huge. It was just
Yeah.
walking in the backyard. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So are they like eating all the dead rodents or like what
Yeah.
are they doing? Yeah.
They,
That's basically
yeah,
it. Yeah.
this is literally just walking around. And then I came out to like take a video, and then it kind of flew away. They fight like a little bit, so yeah. And then I've also seen a hawk in my backyard. I don't know why.
I've
Mm.
seen hawks. There's like some I looked this up. I think I heard about this. In Toronto, there's some sort of like program where they released a whole bunch of hawks to
Really?
Mm.
contain the I want to say the squirrel population or something.
Or the bats? It's the bats or the squirrels?
No, it wasn't bats because we don't have an overrunning of bats, do we? I think we have an
I
overrunning of.
hope not.
Pardon?
I hope not.
No, I think it was squirrel. I'd have to look it up to confirm. But I
But
think it was hawks for squirrels or
mm.
bunnies.
It's not that bad.
You know that they use hawks at the airport, right?
For what?
I think it's a hawk, yeah. They release a hawk before the planes take off so that they can get the smaller birds out of the way.
Really?
Yeah, so that the birds don't fly into the
Really? I've never
what are
seen
those
that.
things? Yeah,
Propellers?
yeah.
I've never seen that. I don't know. I don't know if that's every time. That might be in certain flights only.
I'm not sure, but they
Yeah.
definitely have them at the airport to get rid of smaller birds in the fly space.
Interesting. They
Hmm.
probably have them flying around constantly just to do that because I can't imagine because there's so many flights that leave and land. I can't imagine them flying one for every single flight. Maybe they do, but I've never seen that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't know
Hmm.
that.
So going back
So,
to mental health, there was that crazy article that you were talking about, Maureen. Remember that?
oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so let me find that. Hold on. So I heard this crazy story about this woman who basically she wrote a kid's book about grief after her husband died and then she was charged with his murder. And let me just read you this one little clip here. The mother of three told officers that she'd made her husband a mixed vodka drink to celebrate him selling a home and then went to soothe one of her children to sleep in their bedroom. Then she later came back and found her husband unresponsive and called 911. And then a medical examiner later found 5 times the lethal dosage of fentanyl in his system. So she's
Oh,
now charged with murder. And yeah, that's crazy. So they're saying that she drugged him, like she poisoned him, which is such a and I'm sorry for saying this. I know that we're gonna get a lot of slack for saying this, but that is such a female way to kill someone. like to poison them. Like she didn't like shoot him or chop him up with an axe. She poisoned him. Like that's so. And on this topic, I actually saw this TikTok video where these nurses who are hospice nurses, was it TikTok? I don't remember where I saw this, were confessing things. And there's a lot of people who said that there were these senior women who are in hospice, like on their deathbeds, confessing that they actually killed their husbands, poisoned their husbands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like a lot of women, or made it look like a heart attack, poisoned their husbands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's just so typical. Not typical. I'm not saying all women do this. I'm saying like this
But
form of
apparently it's a
murder.
trend.
This form of murder seems to be like geared toward
Popular.
females, right?
Well, that woman is obviously very sick because
very sick.
she wrote a whole book, probably for her child, for her son, about grief and handling grief, like of his father passing. She's completely unwell. Meanwhile, she's the one who's responsible for his death, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it was well played.
They're like, oh, look at her.
You know what I'm saying? Like
grieving wife. Yeah, right.
She's probably thinking, let me like lock this up by making a book. Nobody will ever suspect.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna make a book
cover up. I don't know how she got found out, but
probably.
Whatever. Yeah. But there was a story a little while back, a couple of months ago, about a man actually poisoning his wife with a smoothie. I don't know if you heard this. Like he's like a doctor or something like that. So he makes a smoothie every morning for his wife.
Yeah.
And he poisoned her. And
wow.
the way they found out was because the secretary at his clinic figured it out. Something to do with the smoothie. There was more to the story, but it was very it was clear that he was actually the one who gave her the smoothie. So it's not just women. Men are doing it too. And this is to their spouse, right? So
I guess communication isn't a thing, really. Like, let's just skip that step and go straight to
no, and I don't know about the smoothie case that you're talking about, but it reminded me of if you've ever seen on Netflix the show Ginny and Georgia.
I know the show,
yeah.
I think I started watching that, but I never finished it.
Yeah, so Georgia, that's what she does. She killed one of the dads with the poison, but yeah, with a poison smoothie. Yeah, but that's dark, man. Like, people need to be able to communicate. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I'm blaming everything on COVID because honestly, it kind of feels like, doesn't it? Tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't it feel like the world just went a little bit crazier after COVID ended? Like you're hearing people stabbing each other on the subway everywhere, and
that's kind of messed up.
All these people being shot left, right, and center in places that you never hear about it before, like Richmond Hill. Like, what is going on? So. Not saying that doesn't ever happen, but it just feels like it's increased.
Coincidental, yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is.
Something scary.
Oh, there we go. What's one thing you're going to do for your mental health this week? Okay. That's a good one. Like, what's something something self-care?
Something new?
No, something self-care related that doesn't have to do with like getting your nails done or like getting a massage. Like those things are all great, but like, what else are you going to do for your mental health?
Yeah. I'm going to try and spend more time outside. I don't know if I can quantify how much because it depends on the weather and how I'm feeling. But ideally, at least 30 minutes outside every day.
Nice.
This week. Yeah.
I want to try waking up early in the morning and going for a walk because I was doing that at one point and then I stopped. So like every time I think like, oh, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning early, and I wake up very like 7:30, which is late because my kids are already up. But I used to wake up at like earlier, like 5:30 or 6, and go for a walk. So my goal honestly is to wake up early and get my steps in. And then also something else, I want to feed my creative. Like there's something creative that I'm working on, so I want to keep on
keeping on.
Yeah, putting my energy into that.
Nice.
you go?
You
So I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to, so like Tiana was saying, like you have something creative that you're doing. I also have something creative that I need to up the ante with, like, yeah, just take it one step further. But I also want to declutter my closet. Like, I need to throw some things away. Like, I have jeans in my closet. Like, I don't wear jeans.
Give
I
them
don't
to
wear
me.
blazers.
I'll wear
I don't
them.
have blazers. Like, I don't wear blazers. Like, there's just things in there that are just like maybe I'll wear it. No. So I got to
You
go
know
through
what
and
I
do that.
wanted to do actually? I don't know if people would be open to this. I always thought, why don't I know a lot of girls, why don't we do clothing swaps? Like, why
Oh,
don't
yeah.
we ever do that? Like, how if somebody has clothes that they're like, okay, this isn't really my style. Does anyone else want this? Oh, this
Yeah.
isn't really my whatever. I don't like I only wear like workout gear pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So anything like if I had blazers, I got rid of everything. But if I had things like that, I would give them out. If I had like a dress that was really fancy, I'd be like, here. Or if I
Yeah.
had whatever, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Why don't we do that as women? I don't understand why we don't do stuff like that more often.
I mean, some of my stuff I definitely give away, or I'll give to consignment. But
What's
like I have
consignment? Like meaning like you sell it online? Is that what you say?
no, like so there's a place near me where you can give them your clothes and they sell it on your behalf, but they take a
Oh,
percentage.
what store?
Oh
Like
wow.
Poshmark? Is that Posh?
It's a consignment. Well,
Is
it's
that
like Poshmark, but it's like
okay?
an actual real life store.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's one. I think there's Plato's
Those closet.
Closet.
Yeah, but they don't do
Yeah,
that. Do they do that? They sell
I
it
think
and give
so.
you a cut?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
okay. I didn't know that. Because I
I
have a
think it's a
Play-Doh closet
consignment shop.
near me. But I've
I'm
never
pretty
thought
sure.
of that. I always just give it to like Goodwill or give it to like Value
Yeah,
Village.
right. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's good to
so those
know.
are my two goals for the week.
Cool.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and all you juicy listeners out there, I hope you guys enjoyed our episode today. And make sure that you tune into the next one because it's going to be even juicier.
Yeah. And if there's anything that you want us to talk about, feel free to send us an email or DM us on Instagram. All right.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.